Hi friends, my name is Dawn and I'm so happy to be here with you today. This is my friend Splat and he is going to help me today with some math fun. Today we are going to solve a problem about sharing with a friend. It's very kind to share with your friends. Before we begin, let's take some time to gather some supplies. Let's get something to write with, paper or whiteboard, and a stuffed animal or a trusted adult. I'll wait here while you gather any supplies you need. Welcome back. Let's get started. My friend Moesha always shares. She is going to share cherries with her friend Jacob. Here is a picture of Moesha's cherries. Today, you, Splat, and I are going to read a mathematical story about Moesha and her cherries that she is going to share with her friend Jacob. Your job today is to figure out how many cherries Moesha has after she shares with Jacob. Let's read a little to find out about Moesha and her cherries. But wait, before we get started, let's exercise our brain and get it ready to do some math work so we can be fit mathematicians. Will you join me? Let's stand up and let's find 5 objects in your house. I'll wait here. Do you have your 5 objects? Nice. Let's count them together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, let's take 3 objects away. 1, 2, 3. Awesome. So we started with 5 objects, and then we took 3 away. So how many do we have left? That's right, we have 2. 1, 2. 5 objects take away 3 objects is 2. Now, let's do it again. Let's find 6 objects in your house. I'll wait here. I just grabbed my 6 objects. Do you have your 6 objects? Great job. Let's count them together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, let's take 2 of our objects away. 1, 2. So we started with 6 objects, and then we took away 2. So how many do we have left? You're right, we have 4, because 6 objects take away 2 objects is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow, I feel energized and ready to focus on helping Moesha figure out how many cherries she has. Let's get ready to read our story. Our story says, Moesha has some cherries in her basket. Moesha gives some cherries away to her friend Jacob. What are you picturing in your mind? I'm picturing Moesha with cherries in a basket and her sharing some with her friend Jacob. How many cherries could Moesha have? Tell a friend or trusted adult how many cherries you think Moesha has. That's right. She could have 4, 9, or 12. We don't know how many. Now tell someone else or a stuffed animal how many cherries Moesha could have given to Jacob. Yes, Moesha could have given 2, 13, or 19 cherries to Jacob. Let's read a little more about Moesha. Moesha has 13 cherries in her basket. Moesha gives some cherries away to her friend Jacob. What do we know now that we didn't know before? That's right. We now know that Moesha has 13 cherries. How many cherries do you think Moesha could have given to Jacob? Write down on paper or your whiteboard and show Splat and me how many cherries you think Moesha gave away. That's great! I see some awesome predictions of the number of cherries Moesha gave away. 7 or 3 or maybe 9? Let's keep reading. Moesha has 13 cherries in her basket. Moesha gives 6 cherries away to her friend Jacob. What do we find out now that we didn't know before? You are right. We now know that Moesha gives 6 cherries to her friend Jacob. What question could we ask about this math story? Let's think of a question about Moesha and her cherries and share your question with a trusted adult or stuffed animal, and then whisper it to Splat and me. Listen in for the whispers. I hear a whisper that says we could ask, how many more cherries does Moesha have than Jacob? That's a great question. I hear another whisper that says, how many cherries does Moesha have left? These are great questions. Let's read a little more about Moesha. Moesha has 13 cherries in her basket. Moesha gives 6 cherries away to her friend Jacob. How many cherries does Moesha have left? What is the question in our story? Yes, you're right. The question is asking the total amount of cherries Moesha has after sharing with Jacob. Do you think you have all the information you need to answer that question? Yes, you do have all the information you need. I want you to think about how you can solve this problem. Tell a trusted adult or stuffed animal how you would solve this problem. Splat always helps me solve math stories. Splat just told me a way that I can solve this problem. Splat says we can use a tool called a 10 frame. Let's try it out. We will use 2 10 frames to find out how many cherries Moesha has left. We are going to fill the 10 frames with the amount of cherries that Moesha has before she shares with Jacob. How many cherries does Moesha have before she shares? Yes, she has 13. So let's fill our 10 frames with 13 counters to represent our 13 cherries. I know that if one 10 frame is all filled, that means I have 10, and I can count on from 10 to the other 10 frame until I get to the number 13. Count with me. 10, 11, 12, 13. Let's do it one more time. Start at 10, 11, 12, 13. Great job. We have all of Moesha's cherries on our 10 frame. Let's figure out how many cherries she has left after she shares 6 with Jacob. We need to get rid of 6 of the cherries on the 10 frame to represent the 6 cherries she gave away to Jacob. Count with me as I cross off Jacob's 6 cherries that Moesha gave him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Great job, friends. What do you notice? I notice the same. I see that there are 7 cherries left. That means we figured out that Moesha has 7 cherries left after sharing with Jacob. That is a great job, friends. You've done such a great job of solving the mathematical story of how many cherries Moesha has left. We used a 10 frame tool to help us decide that Moesha has 7 cherries left. In a bit, we're going to talk about another way to solve this problem. But let's take a math movement break before we do. I would like to invite you to stand up for this math movement break. A number will appear on the screen. That number is the number of jumps we should do. Ready? Here we go. 9. Let's do 9 jumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 4. Let's do 4 jumps. 1, 2, 3, 4. Great job. Now let's do 2 jumps. 1, 2. Fantastic. Let's do 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's do 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And finally, let's do 3. 1, 2, 3. That was some great jumping. It's great to exercise our math brains and bodies. Are you ready to solve this story another way? I know I am. Remember, our math story was Moesha had 13 cherries. She shared 6 cherries with Jacob. How many cherries does she have left? Splat and I are going to show you another way to solve this story problem other than with a 10 frame. Splat says we can draw a picture to help us solve. We could draw a picture of 13 cherries. Then we could cross out 6 of the cherries and we'd have 7 cherries left. The equation we might write to go with their story could look like this. 13 minus 6 equals 7. Great job solving that problem. Friends, Splat and I have to be going now. We had so much fun with you today. You worked so hard to solve our mathematical story using 10 frames and pictures to help you subtract. Splat and I hope you enjoyed today, and we hope to see you soon.